I've said this before, but this time gotta make another video about it. I've been watching these videos, of these guys that are trying to keep you up to date on the stock market and all of these banksters and how big and bad they are. And they've got their radio stations, and they're all, this is what's happening, and it's like, oh, this is a new thing to you. You haven't gotten this, and now you're starting to see that there's a little bit of problem, so you think you know the answer. Scary thing, if they ever came up with an answer of their own, they'd be creating the same problem over and over again, because I have not seen any of them actually recognize the causes of any of the problems they happen to suffer from. They're all blaming the banksters. Ooh, these big bad banksters. They're not recognizing the idea that, they've been earning their living off of stock that they've been manipulated to buy by media that encourages their fear to go one way or another, which encourages them, oh, I'll buy this or I'll buy that this week. You're not thinking for yourself when you're even buying stock. You're thinking by what somebody wants to motivate you. And while you are using your friggin' wealth to earn your friggin' dollar, you're creating people to go homeless that you never recognized before. While you were earning so much friggin' money from being so friggin' smart by your wealth from stock markets, you've been creating guys that are homeless, and you've been shooing them out of your area. You don't want to see them next to your big fucking houses. I mean, y'all kind of piss me off, because y'all think that you're so friggin' smart because of your bank accounts, and now that things are starting to crash, you still have the mentality that you know it all, and oh, you're going to be the ones that guide us down the right path. It's like, wake up. Now I'm seeing this guy that's got this station on, in California, that's guiding everybody into how to survive this. And it's like, I watch him, and everything he says and does is like, oh, you're guiding people down the wrong path and don't know it. But he's got his radio station. He's got it, he's on TV. He's famous. He knows what he's talking about. And what's he talking about today? Oh, I'm kind of noticing that we're running out of gas. Ooh, newsflash. Huh. And people are starting to set up businesses in their homes. They're starting to set up restaurants in their homes. There's a new thing going on. People used to have 2 cars, now they're driving 1. Something's going on. We're running out of gas. Big fucking news flash there, eh? And it's like, there's a zillion videos I've posted that'll sort of show you what's going on, but just to kind of make it short, if you increase the price of oil to the point that you can't afford it, and you take everybody's jobs away, nobody can afford the oil no matter how much value you put on it. The only way they're going to make oil, the consumable product, is if you somehow give people jobs so that they can afford to drive their cars to go to whatever job you create for them. But if you make oil so friggin' expensive you can't drive to work, it don't matter whether you create a job. If I can't get the transportation there, I ain't getting there. So it's like, raise the price of oil all the time so I can't afford it, lower my paycheck so I can't afford to go to work, and then figure out where the big circle is that I can't get off of. And they're saying that if we want a solution to some of these problems, we're going to have a completely different mindset to come up with the solution. Ain't seeing nobody have a different mindset. It's destroy, destroy, destroy. It's profit. I got to make the highest profit. Nobody's doing anything right. And ultimately, what's going to happen is when you end up finding out your level of truth, may not be the full level of truth, but when you get to a level of truth, you could lose your mind. You could get really, really, really angry, because you see that a system is what's basically, you've worked as hard as you could to have all your stuff, just to have it all taken away from you. And that'll get you a little pissed off. And then to try and ease the pain, you may go and buy a drink alcohol, or you may smoke some pot, you may do some drugs, and then the next thing you know, you're looking like a druggie, or you're looking like an alcoholic who's homeless on the street, and you got no fucking power. Kind of look at it, because that's what's been going on. It's not a new game. It's a game that's been played out, but it's been such a slow moving game that you couldn't make the connections to the dots of what's going on now. But the more and more people that are homeless, the more, and the people that are homeless can actually tie themselves as to all of these other people that have been homeless for so many years. Maybe you'll see that it's criminal actions. Our court systems have been saying for a long, long time that it's not perfect, but it's the best we've got. As long as we want to use the best that we've got, that we know can't tell the difference between right or wrong, you play that game out big and long enough, you'll get exactly what we got today. And it doesn't matter if you set up a business at home, you can, make a restaurant in your house. Guess what? If nobody can afford even food for themselves, they ain't going to a restaurant to buy your food. So that little game is only going to last so long before even that runs out. Eventually, at the end of the day, if we do not solve these problems, which there are clear solutions, but you just don't want to see it yet, you will lose all of your vehicles. You will lose your, I mean, even these guys that are having these channels of, I've got all of the answers, all of these motivational speakers, eventually they're going to run out of money, because the only people that can afford to go and buy your motivational talk of whatever solution you got, even they will run out of money, because they don't even know that it's you. You are the motivational speakers that are guiding people down the wrong path, that are crashing our economic system, because you don't know what's an answer and what isn't a good answer. So at the end of the day, there's going to be zero flow of money. So you can set up a business in your own house, won't do you any good, because nobody will be able to buy whatever you got. You can be really, really angry and pissed off. That will only cause, gang wars in our neighborhood. And, people are going to get killed. Kind of see that that's what wars are all about. We might have wars within different countries, but if you haven't seen, we can have wars within our family and wars within our community. So if you're going to get really, really angry and pick up a gun, it's you that's going to end up getting shot. You think you're protecting yourself, but you're only participating in a war of your own making. Or we can kind of wake up to the idea that we do something not because of money, but because we love doing something. If you love being a farmer, then farm. If you got a piece of land that you actually own, why not invite a farmer onto your land and start growing some food? Maybe some people love building free energy. Some people have some metal, work together, start building some free energy machines. It is possible. You just gotta be willing to help somebody else actually unfold that possibility. You love cooking? Well, provide somebody with food so they can cook it for you. Participate in the solution. Do something you love doing and you would do it for free. Then start doing it. And you'll start to see that everything that's moving and working is only moving and working because you're doing it for $1. But everything can still move exactly the same way, as long as, we did it out of love and support for each other. It's like time to get community working together. Don't push somebody to do what you want them to do. Bring up the suggestion of, hey, this is what I can do. Anybody need my help? And when everybody is in supportive of each other, you say what you're capable of doing, but then you have a list of needs. You got to say, hey, this is what I'm telling you that I would work at this 24/7, but these are what I need. Put that out into your community. Somebody has something they want to give you. If it means that it supports their community, they will gladly give up whatever they could give up. They want to give you something. They got to throw it away anyway. So, but they love doing something with the stuff that they got. So they have to have a list of, hey, this is what I can do, but these are the list of my requirements. I've attracted a house with zero money with, all it was is me attracting it out, that I wanted a house, and I kept letting everybody know I'm getting a house. Somebody that was really rich that wanted to get rid of a house overheard the conversation, and I assumed their mortgage. um, there's always somebody that's willing to give you what you need, but you have to be part of the game. You got to say what it is you need. You got to, say what you're willing to give. And if we all played in that game, then we wouldn't be stuck with our alcoholics or our drugs. I mean, you got to jump into the solution. But it's all got to crash, and we all got to lose our minds before we start, actually jumping into the solution. So have no fear when everything falls apart. Just don't go crazy and think it's hopeless and helpless and be angry and shoot your neighbor, because you're only going to shoot your own foot off. I don't know whether you can comprehend that or not, but there we go.